Welcome to this 15-minute yoga flow for lower body strength and toning. You won't need any equipment for this yoga class, just yourself and perhaps a soft surface beneath you. When you're ready, I'll see you at the top of the mat in Tadasana mountain pose. Starting in mountain pose, feet are hip width distance apart. You might like to join your hands together in Namaskar Mudra or cross one forearm over the other. Or you might like to alternatively extend your arms out in front, whatever helps you stabilize. On our inhale, we're going to extend our right leg back, coming into a low lunge, Anjanayasana, and we'll go again, flowing with the breath. Nice and controlled movements, ensuring that the hips are staying squared to the front of the mat. Core is engaged. Navel is drawn towards the spine. Ensuring that the front knee, the left knee, is in line with the ankle and tracking in line with the second toe. You might like to close the eyes here if you'd like a little challenge while you're playing around with balance. Flowing with the breath, breathing through any tension, nice and controlled movements. Now we'll stay in our low lunge and work on some pulses. So really just lifting that knee up off above the ground and pulsing it right back down. Beginning to feel this in the left leg, being mindful not to splay that left thigh out to the side, ensuring that it's engaged, and we'll stay down in a low pulse. A few more breaths. And gently stepping up to the top of the mat in Tadasana. You might like to shake it out a bit, roll the shoulders back and down, and we'll go again on the left side, stepping back into Anjanayasana, Crescent Lunge, flowing with the breath back to Tadasana. Again, being mindful of the breath-mind-body relationship. Are you aware of all of the regions in the body that are working together right now? Are you maintaining a natural arch in your front foot as you ground down through the heel, through the ball of the foot, the toes? Lengthening through the crown of the head, neck is long. The shoulders are rolled back, they're not hunched up by the ears. Once more, and now we'll stay in our low lunge pulse, finding balance. This is just a small movement, gentle pulses up and down. You are probably feeling it right now in your right leg, and we're going to stay down and hold. Can you squeeze those abdominal muscles in a little more? Scissor the thighs together, ground down through that supporting leg and back to Tadasana. Taking a moment to shake it out, invite some movement back into those legs. And from here we will step into a wide-legged stance facing the long edge of our mat. Toes are pointed out slightly on a diagonal, hips are squared to the front of the mat. Roll the shoulders back and down, and from here we're going to sink our hips back, activate our glutes as we come into a goddess squat, flowing with the breath, lower and lift. Being mindful to keep those knees in line with the ankles, really squeezing those glutes together when you extend and rise into a standing position. You can sink back as deep as you want. If you've just got a small range of motion today, that is perfectly okay. Go within your range of movements. Move in a way that is suitable for you. Now we're going to stay down in a goddess pulse. Just a small movement, feeling the hamstrings, the glutes, the quads all firing up. Seeing if you can transition a little more weight into the heels. You might like to extend the arms out in front or join them together in prayer position. Really ensuring that you're not sticking the bum out, it's tucked under, the belly is drawn in, navel is drawn towards the spine. A few more breaths. And slowly rising up to a standing position. From here, we will heel toe our feet together, shaking out the legs, inviting some movement after those static postures. And from here we will situate the feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart, and we will come into a variation of squats and stepping back with the left leg on a diagonal into a curtsy lunge. Come down into a squat and curtsy lunge with the right leg, flowing with the breath here. Finding that stability. Might feel a bit wobbly as you find this lateral movement. Just working within your range of motion. Try and see if you can drop your knee to the floor when you step back into the curtsy lunge, ever so gently. We're not here for long. A few more rounds. Are you maintaining awareness and activation of the upper torso, the arms, the shoulders? Everything's working together. See if you can breathe through any tension that might be building up, perhaps mental, physical, emotional. We'll stay down with our left leg extended and pulse in the curtsy lunge. Stay low. Keep the shoulders rolled back. Seeing if you can get that right knee at a 90-degree angle to the mat. And we'll come up into a squat and we'll go on the left side, stepping our right leg back into our curtsy lunges. Pulsing here. How low can you get? Are you activating that front foot, grounding down through all four corners? And back to center. Come down into one more squat. From here we will heel toe the feet slightly wider again. This time our toes might be pointed inwards or directly out in front. We'll extend the arms overhead and exhale, come into a wide-legged forward fold. Hands are underneath the shoulders, and on our inhale we'll extend our left arm up to the sky. And we'll go on the right side, flowing with the breath, finding a nice spinal twist. Really trying to keep the hips squared. If there's a slight rotation, that's okay, but just maintaining that awareness. And from here we will transition into a side lunge on the right, Skandasana. Flexing at the right hip, the right knee, externally rotating the left leg, drawing down through the heel of the foot. Toes are pointed towards the ceiling. And we're going to transition into Skandasana on the left, this time extending the right leg. You might like to extend the arms out wide as we flow through some faster transitions. Skandasana on the right and the left. Going with the breath. However fast or slow you want to make this movement, just really being mindful to protect the knee joints as you go, engaging those quadriceps, engaging the glutes, the inner thighs, grounding down through the feet for support. using the arms as a counterbalance. See if you can lengthen through the crown of the head, roll those shoulders back a little more. We're not here for long. And we'll stay in Skandasana on the left, finding your breath. And here we will transition into a seated position as we roll down onto our backs, one vertebra at a time. You might like to hold on to the underside of your thighs for support, gently guiding your way down, taking a moment to settle in, stabilize the body. From here, walking our heels closer to our glutes, we're going to press up into a glute bridge. Inhale, extending those glutes skywards. Exhale down, inhale, lift. Really working on opening through the chest, the heart space here, squeezing those inner thighs together. Relaxing the muscles of the face. Grounding down through the heels. It's a small movement, but there's a lot going on here, particularly beneficial for pelvic stability, glute strength. Flowing with the breath, and we'll stay up for some small pulses. See if you can ground down through those heels, press down through the arms. Lift those hips up a little higher. 3, 2, 1. Almost there. One more breath. And slowly relax. You might like to bring the knees to the chest. Find stillness or movement. Perhaps some small circles in one direction and the other. And joining our peace and thumb fingers around our big toes, we will come into happy baby, drawing the knees towards the armpits, finding a deep groin stretch here. Again, you might like to find stillness or movement, perhaps playing around with extending one leg out and the other. Maybe extending both legs out at the same time. Just finding a nice massage for the lower back here, releasing any tension that was built up. Remembering to soften the muscles of the face. And gently release. Squeezing the knees towards the chest. One more breath. And from here we'll transition into our final relaxation posture, Savasana, corpse pose. Just taking a moment to get comfortable. You might like to place some blocks or a bolster under your knees to take any pressure off your lower back. You might like to pop a blanket over you, some socks on, allowing yourself to get comfortable and arrive into this moment. I invite you to pause the video here and stay in Savasana for 5, 10, 15 minutes if you have it. Otherwise, tuning into the breath, observing any newfound sensations, acknowledging your efforts for showing up today, and beginning to gently invite small movements into the body, maybe moving the toes, the fingers, rolling the neck side to side. When you're ready, rolling over onto one side. You might like to use your arm as a pillow and the other palm for support. Taking a few breaths. And keeping the eyes closed, we will come up to Sukhasana or any seated variation, grounding down through both sits bones. On your next inhale, extend the arms skywards. Exhale, lower the hands to heart center. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths to close practice, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining this 15-minute yoga flow. Namaste.